Good morning, my name is Sharaad Kuttan and welcome to BFM's Morning Headlines, 11th of November. No, of course it's not the 11th of December. This 11th of December. You know, when you have to read the papers every day, this is a headline that actually speaks to you. The paint won't go away. Yes, today is a rather painful selection of stories, but I'll go through them anyway because that's my commitment to you. Okay, the Star. Yesterday we talked about the Highland Towers tragedy and what I felt was an omission in the story, because this in part answers that question, the people behind it and their struggle for justice. This is in fact a much more personal take again, but the story on the civil suit in its final out-of-court settlement, which gave each of the house owners and the families that were affected some 200,000 ringgit or less, that's there. But the real import, the real significance of the decisions being made by the courts wasn't really fleshed out. So that remains there. Still, they give a second day to the Highland Towers tragedy. Now, this is the other headline that speaks to me because so much of our papers today were Cakap Kosong, okay? And that's the phrase of the day, Jangan Cakap Kosong, which means empty talk, a lot of rhetoric, a lot of, bluster and demagoguery. Don't know if it's any good for the rest of us, but the politicians seem to want to keep doing it. This, of course, is a politician. He was a former Menteri Besar of Kelantan, Datuk Nik Aziz, and he's referring to the charges laid by the Minister of Home Affairs against unknown people in the past leadership who are apparently Shia. So back to that, Sina Harian gives past some voice in that story. So here's more Cakap Kosong. 8 initiatives to leapfrog the country's education system. Okay, more initiatives, more acronyms. I'm not quite sure if any of these things are going to yield any results, but still there is anxiety about our rankings and it's reflected in that, including the PISA report, which is the program for student assessments, and it's an international study of reading abilities and such, and Malaysia's not been doing very well on that. So here we have more help on the way. In fact, no help on the way when it comes to quality headlines. This, on the other hand, it refers to the flood victims. You can see a rather cheerful-looking Menteri Besar of Pahang, along with the Prime Minister of the country, of the Federation. Perhaps just a moment when they're reaching out to the people, and a smile always helps, I guess. Hassle-free, another non-headline by The Sun. It's about how passport applications renewals are going to make it easier. Also, return of visa on arrivals for people from India and China, because next year is Visit Malaysia year, and I only thought every year was a Visit Malaysia year, but still. There you have it. Malay Mail, Sedang hospital ceiling crashes yet again. Costs going up. This time it's transport. They say it's inevitable. I don't think when it comes to cost increase, anything is inevitable. The question is what is the rationale? And if costs are going up, is quality following suit? That's a big question that's not being asked by the papers. Utusan Malaysia. Rather banal headline, Kawal case hilang my card. So we're back to the whole story about, remember we had some weeks ago about missing IC cards. Nothing extraordinary in that. So there's a story just a bit there, something to feel a bit happy about this morning. Malaysia beats Brunei 2-0. Brunei, of course, is made up of lots of oil and 2 slivers of land. Could have been part of the larger Malaysian Federation if not for the fact that Tunku, the first Prime Minister of Malaysia, had not in fact insulted the Sultan of Brunei by saying that his country was smaller than Perlis. That's a fact. And so we end our roundup for this morning with a look at Harian Metro. Always good for a laugh. That's a young man who's far too heavy for his age. He's 5 years and weighs in at 57 kilos. He's not quite sure what his problem is. It could be glandular, it could be just a lot of doting grandparents, who knows. The main story, of course, is much more disturbing, and it's about children who'd been taken advantage of by their stepfather. He had 3 wives and 10 children, and he was insatiable. He was found out because he was giving the kids money for the sexual favors that he was demanding of them. So that ends our morning papers. It's been wonderful. Though I felt like chewing my hand off, sometimes it's like, I'm Sharaad Kuttan. You've been listening. No, you've been watching. Nay, you've put it off. You've been watching BFM's Morning Headlines. I'm Sharaad Kuttan, BFM 89.9.